Before we get into this, I just want to thank everybody who got involved in the voting by sending me what they considered to be the top 5 greatest rock videos of all time. They just came flooding in from all over the place by email and by snail mail as well. All the suggestions were put together and tabulated, and what you're about to see is the result of all the votes. At number 10, a bit of a surprise. The track was reissued about 5 weeks ago. The 4 guys in the band are all Armenian Americans and somewhat political as well. They come from Los Angeles, got together first around 1995. Rick Rubin produced their debut album, which has just been re-released in the United States, where the band have been on the road with Sabbath and also part of the Ozfest as well. The track is called Sugar, and the band are System of a Down. Tankian on the voice, Darren Malakian on the guitar, John Dolmayan, he's on the drums, and Shevo Odadjian on the bass, who actually started out as the band's manager, that guy. System of a Down with Sugar at number 10 in this Rock Show Viewer Top 10. Tonight they are with the Ozfest, I'm told, at California State Uni, Hornet Stadium in Sacramento, California. If you want to sort of jump on Concord, you could, well, maybe get to see them. A band they are that mix it up with like jazz and rap and hardcore and even some Armenian folk music. At number 9, another American band from California, this time from Bakersfield. Their first album came out in 1994. Jonathan Davis on the vocals, Reggie Fieldy Arvizu on the bass, James Monkey Schaefer guitar, Brian Welsh on guitar and voice, and David Silveira, he's on the drums. The video you're about to see is up for 9 awards in this year's MTV Awards that's going to be broadcast in America on September 9th. And it's also in the category for the best video in the Kerrang Awards next week, which we shall be covering. Korn here, and Freak on a Leash. Video in your top 10, the best rock vids according to you. Korn, Freak on a Leash. And that band at the moment are back in the studio doing tracks for their next CD. Brendan O'Brien is producing. He's done things like Rage and Pearl Jam. In other words, he's good. They say the new tracks are more groove-like, similar to the first CD they ever released. You're watching the Friday Rock Fest from VH1 in the UK, and on your screen next, the video that you voted in at number 8. Don't go away. Stay tuned. And welcome back to this 6-hour edition of the Friday Rock Show, coming at you from Studio B here at VH1 in London. Still to come, more rock than you can handle. Continuing to count down the top 10 rock vids as voted for by Friday Rock Show viewers worldwide. You put the effort in, and we're playing your choice out. Most recently here in the United Kingdom, we saw Marilyn Manson on stage at the big day out in Milton Keynes. Not that much, though, because he walked off after 50 minutes, after getting pissed off by the audience. Oh, what a sensitive fellow. He got so angry, he even smashed a guitar up. This is the Manson vid you voted for most, The Beautiful People. The 7th most popular video, in your opinion, The Beautiful People, Marilyn Manson, who did a press conference on the web just a couple of weeks ago announcing that the next CD will be a live one called The Last Tour on Earth. Should be out before the end of this year, just in time for Christmas. And that he's working on a film script called Hollywood. Now you know. Now let's get into the video in the 7 slot. Tom Araya, Kerry King, Jeff Hanneman and Paul Bostaph. They're Slayer. You have to go way back to 1983 for the start of this group, who spearheaded, really, the whole thrash scene. Most recent release was Diabolus in Musica, recorded after a 3-year layoff for the band. Slayer track that got the big vote was the title of the unit's 1990 classic CD, Seasons in the Abyss, Slayer. And welcome back. Between 1984 and 1997, Soundgarden were a part of what lots of people labelled the Seattle scene. 1997, Soundgarden announced that they were going to retire to get involved in other projects, which is a shame, because they were one of the most inventive bands of that era. Went through quite a lot of changes up until the release of Bad Motorfinger, and that really sort of elevated them to star status. They toured the States with Guns N' Roses. Yeah, it was Guns N' Roses, and then they went platinum. And this is their video that, via your voting, shows up at number 7. Off that 1991 release, Bad Motorfinger, and a top 20 single release 3 years later here in the UK, Black Hole Sun, Soundgarden. Classic Soundgarden lineup. Chris Cornell vocals, Kim Thayil on guitar, Matt Cameron on the drums, and Jason Everman, ex-Nirvana, playing a bass. Black Hole Sun, number 7 in the Friday Rock Show viewers' top 10 vids of all time. Morning. You're with VH1 from the United Kingdom, and thank you very much indeed for watching. And here the focus remains on Seattle for this next one. They're a band not known for going out of their way to make videos for their releases. In fact, the last one was just a cartoon, as I recall. off the first album they put out 7 years ago, the one called 10. This is Pearl Jam, story of a very sort of, well, unfortunate schoolboy, I guess, Jeremy. Tonight's no new tour information at all for Pearl Jam, but in the States, Jeremy there from Pearl Jam, according to your votes, number 5 in your rock top 10. Videos 4, 3, 2 and 1, still to come, here on this all-night edition of the Friday Rock Show. So don't fall asleep. Stay with us. Well, have you just joined us, or are you just wondering what's going on here at VH1 at this time of the morning? This is the Friday Rock Show, all 6 hours of it. We're calling it a rock fest. We're on till 6 a.m. UK time. Now, the original idea for this event was that it should tie in with another event, and that was to be the Ozfest, which was originally scheduled to be happening here in London this weekend. That got cancelled so that Black Sabbath could continue touring the States, which they are. In fact, tonight they're in Maryland. So, well disappointed in this part of the globe, but it's being said that there should be some Sabbath gigs at the end of the year here in the UK. And I'm told that Ozzy is going to do a Millennium gig on an island off Hawaii that's going to be seen on television all over the place, I'm sure. What does all this lead up to? This, the number 4. A great track from one of the world's favourite rockers, Ozzy Osbourne. No More Tears in this countdown is in position number 4. Nice one, Oz. He should have a new album ready by next spring. Still to come tonight, we have a chance to see Oz in the rockumentary Behind the Music. That'll go to air about 3 a.m., so stay tuned for that. Moving up to your choice for number 3. Lead singer, well, he used a shotgun to get him to Nirvana, and that was the end of that band. Kurt Cobain was just 27 when he pointed that shotgun, pulled the trigger. The album that pushed him into the charts was called Nevermind. Came out in 1991. This was the single that stormed the American top 10 and really got him noticed. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Nirvana at 3. Long haul. Tonight we're here till 6 a.m. banging out the best rock on the box, marathon style. This is the Friday Rock Fest, and now let's get down to number 2 on your list of the best rock vids ever put together. Been years since this band put together an album. Way it looks, they never really will again. The last CD, The Spaghetti Incident, didn't really amount to much. Axl Rose may come up with something, but it's unlikely to be a real Guns N' Roses release. Other than Axl, I reckon a new lineup. This video, when it came out, won loads of awards, and you with your votes rated good enough to be number 2. GNR, The Gunners, November Rain. Reports that are kicking around indicate that Axl has booked out a whole studio complex in Los Angeles to do new material using guitarist Robin Fink of Nine Inch Nails, bass player Tommy Stinson from The Replacements, Josh Freese from The Vandals on drums, and Paul Huge guitar and keyboard player Dizzy Reed as well. November Rain, what an epic from the Gunners, back in the days when they were really huge. And that brings us to what you say is the greatest rock video of all time. Intercut with footage from an obscure black and white low-budget film, this song won the band a Grammy Award for the Best Metal Performance back in 1990. On the vote front, this, believe me, is an outright winner. Metallica won. That video was the absolute winner, scoring way more votes than anything and anybody else. You voted Metallica's One to be the number 1 in your top 10 rock vids of all time. Off the album, And Justice for All, released back in 1988. And let's be honest, no surprise there then. In a couple of weeks, we're going to put out the whole of the Rock Top 40 here on the Friday Rock Show, but it will be slightly different to the top 10 that you've seen tonight. Still be based on your votes, but using a somewhat different formula to work out the chart positions. It'll be a 4-hour show, and the transmission date is the 27th of this month. The Friday Rock Show Top 40, August 27th, here on VH1 from the UK. Put it in your diary. Still loads to come tonight in this all-nighter. Coming up next, we've got Ozzy Osbourne Behind the Music, a rockumentary. So stay right there for more of the best rock on the box.